Hello everyone. In this presentation, we are going to discuss data privacy and data security in modern enterprises. Basically, this is an informative study exploring the critical aspects of digital privacy and security in modern enterprises. Uh, this report is presented by Akshay Gupta and Devendra Singh. We both are students of SGSITS Indore, and we are from first year, and our branch is IT. So now let's get into it. So now the first topic of our report is understanding data privacy and security. So the key concepts in the data-driven economy are first, definition of data privacy. So data privacy involves how personal information is collected and used in compliance with laws. So this basically means that how our information is used by organizations in accordance with the laws. So now we come to our second point, which is understanding data security. So data security is the protection of information from unauthorized accesses and breaches. Uh, Now we come to our third point, which is importance of data protection. So it is important to protect our data because of financial penalties and reputation damages. So now we come to our fourth point, which is consequences of data breaches. So the data breaches can lead to severe consequences, including loss of customer trust. Because if the data of customers is breached, so this would lead to them being vulnerable to scams and other frauds, which can lead to the loss of their trust. And now we come to our fifth point, which is regulatory landscape. Evolving regulations like GDPR, CCPA, and DPDPA have made data protection essential. So with this, we have understood data privacy and security key concepts. So now we move to our next slide, types of data and security measures. So in this slide, we are going to understand different data types. So the first type of data type is personally identifiable information, which is PII. So this means that data that can be used to uniquely identify an individual. For example, name, address, biometric information, phone number, etc. Now comes financial data. This refers to transaction records and payment information which are essential for compliance. And the example of these are credit card numbers, CVV number, payment record, etc. Now comes intellectual property. So this is the information which is important for a competitive advantage. And the example of this type of information are patents and copyright and research data. Now comes structured data. This data is organized data that is easily analyzed. For example, databases and spreadsheets. And finally, we come upon unstructured data. This is not organized data that presents security challenges. For example, emails and multimedia files. So these were the types of data and security measures. So now moving ahead, we come upon common cybersecurity threats. So at whopping 40%, we can see a phishing attack. So basically, in phishing, an email is sent to a user which is aimed to extract all the personal information from that individual, which is later used to commit identity thefts, who commit the crimes on his behalf. Now come at 25%, we can see ransomware. Ransomware is basically a software which is installed in the device of the user, and the device of the user is locked and encrypted until he pays a certain amount of money, which is known as a ransomware. I'm sorry, which is known as a ransom. Now at 15% we can see comes insider threats, and at 10% comes allowed security breaches. So these were the common cybersecurity hits. Now comes key features of India's digital privacy landscape. So at first point comes a Digital Personal Data Protection Act, which is a DPDA 2023. This act is the cornerstone of data privacy in India, aimed at protecting personal data. The next comes a data sovereignty, which imposes a restriction on cross-border data transfers to maintain local data protection. At third place comes consent-based processing. Organizations are required to obtain explicit consent from individuals before processing their data. So the organizations need to take permissions of the user in order to process their data. At 4 point comes penalties for non-compliance. So if the organizations or these companies does not follow these rules, so they may face fines of up to 250 crore rupees. This ensures the accountability of the organizations and the companies, and also adherence to these rules. At fifth point comes a global compliance requirement. Enterprises must also comply with international regulations like GDPR and CCPA when operating internationally. So these were some key features of India's data privacy. Now moving to next slide. The technologies for enhancing data security. So these are certain technologies and data security tools which can be used to enhance data security. At first place, we have encryption and cryptography. So it's they are essential for protecting sensitive data during both storage and transmission. So basically, encryption refers to encrypting of data using a software which can be used to encrypt a data in such a way that it cannot be i- interpreted by any other person. Now, at second point comes firewalls and intrusion detection. These are vital for monitoring and controlling network traffic to block unauthorized access. At third point comes data masking and anonymization. These techniques are used to safeguard sensitive information while still allowing for data analysis. So, at 4 point, we can see systematic encryption standards. It usually it utilizes the same key for both encryption and decryption, for example, AES. And at fifth position, we can see asymmetric encryption standards. It involves a pair of keys, one for encryption and another for decryption, for example, RSA. So these were some technologies for enhancing data security. Now I would like to ask Devvardhan to explain the rest of the topics.
Thank you, Akshay. So please, could you switch to next slide? So in this slide, we are going to discuss about strategies for robust data privacy. In this, we are discussing about the key practices for enterprises. The first is access controls. In this, we are using the role-based access control (RBAC) to restrict access to sensitive data based on employees' roles. This ensures only the right people can access the right information. The second point is user consent and transparency. Make sure to inform users about how their data will be used and they get their consent clearly. This builds trust with the users. Third is data retention and deletion policies. Keep data only for as long as it's needed and have secure processes in place to delete it when it's no longer required. Fourth is importance of compliance. By following these steps, you meet regulations and gain customer trust, which is essential for your organization success. So going to the next slide. We are going to discuss about the key cybersecurity incidents and lessons learned. As you can see, there's a graph representing the different cyber threats and attacks. The first is Ames ransomware attack 2022. This attack disrupted essential healthcare operations, showing weaknesses in cybersecurity infrastructure. It highlights the need for better protection of critical systems. The second is Big Basket data breach 2020. Personal data of 20 million users was leaked due to weak security. This incident stresses the importance of secure hashing techniques for protecting user information. Third is Aadhaar data leak 2018. Sensitive data of over 1.1 billion individuals was exposed, emphasizing the need for stronger encryption methods to safeguard personal information. Fourth is overarching theme. These real world incidents teach us the importance of building stronger cybersecurity frameworks to prevent similar breaches in the future. Going to the next slide. Now, discussing the trends in data privacy and security, it includes the key influencers for the future. The first is privacy enhancing technologies, PETs. New tools like differential privacy and homomorphic encryption will make it harder for unauthorized parties to access personal data, boosting security. Second, AI and machine learning. These technologies will help automatically detect and respond to security threats, making systems more efficient at preventing attacks. Third is decentralized data management. People will have more control over their personal data, and blockchain technology will help make that possible, ensuring privacy and security. Fourth is regulatory changes. Laws around the world will get stricter, forcing companies to put more effort into protecting user privacy and following data protection rules. Fifth is user education and awareness. Companies will teach users about their privacy rights and how they can protect themselves online. Next is integration of privacy by design. In this, privacy will be built into products from the start, not added later, to ensure better protection throughout their life cycle. And the last one is cybersecurity investments. Businesses will invest more in cybersecurity to safeguard data from breaches and attacks. Now, here you can see the key takeaways for modern enterprises. These are the strategies for effective data privacy and security. The first one is data privacy and security as a priority. We should treat data privacy and security as essential to your business and not something that can be ignored or dealt with later. Second is integration of security practices. Make sure security measures are a part of everything you do in your business, using the latest technology to protect your data. Next is regulatory compliance awareness. Stay up to date with new laws and regulations so you can stay compliant and use the best data management practices. Next is privacy by design approach. Build privacy and protection into your products and processes from the very beginning rather than adding it as an afterthought. Next is employee training and awareness. Make sure your employees are well trained on security practices and understand why they are important. And the last but not least, regular risk assessments. Regularly check for risks and test your systems to find and fix vulnerabilities before they can be exploited. So, at last, let's move to the conclusion. So, concluding the whole presentation, we can say that data protection is everyone's responsibility. So, we should work together to understand how important it is to keep data safe in our organization. By joining forces, we can create a secure and compliant environment that protects all the valuable information we handle. So, with this, I end this presentation. Thank you.